Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the happiest bar on earth.
Oh,
So,
you're
hello,
swell,
barflies.
Dave.
Isn't it great? And let's.
Mhm.
It's a wonderful, happy day. There are pretty little trees everywhere. We've got happy barflies everywhere. It's a happy, happy day.
Right. It's nice that we can finally drop our personas of
Yes,
the
yes,
complainers and the old
that's
grumpy
right.
men and just be
Exactly.
the happy selves we normally are.
Exactly. We're happy. And look, in spiders here, you know what's funny? I would even let him crawl across my arm today. I mean, we're
Yes.
just
Love
you
for
just
everybody. All
well,
creatures
exactly.
great and
Everybody.
small.
It's just happy. So if you're out there in the happy bar with happy drinks and free Shirley Temples for everybody, and
With
and
cherries.
just with cherries, of course, got to have cherries. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us why today is a happy day for you.
You know what? In a happy but sad way, I am smoking an Oliva V Milano Figurado, which is one of my favorite cigars.
Mm-hmm.
Box pressed, tapered on both ends, wonderful flavor. But this is my last one.
Wow, we are
Yeah.
so in sync. I know that they say that ladies sometimes sink certain parts of things,
Oh God.
which is a happy thing. It's a happy thing. Well,
Yeah.
later on, right now I'm finishing up a Metropolitan Host Maduro.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, that's
and I
we
didn't
didn't
cut
even
this one.
say I smoked that pre-show.
Right, I didn't cut this one
Mhm.
because my cigar. But I am going to be smoking later my very last of the
Oh,
Hobarts for this week. So, hello, Pante. I hope you're doing well and there's all kinds of happiness in your life. Stephen, happy day. Oh, happy birthday.
ah,
45 years. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool that he's younger than you are.
that's right. Happy
I think
birthday,
I,
pops.
I think that's awesome. And here's the thing. I mean, talk about happiness. I'm sure Stephen has 1,000 things that he would be wanting to do today. And what does he do to make his son happy? To make you? He joins
Wait,
us on his
how? What
birthday.
else would you rather do? And can you imagine all his friends saying, "What are you doing for your birthday?" Say, "I'm watching Drinks and Daves." What else?
So we have a negative Nelly in the house. Oh, cry me a river, like he doesn't have a huge container filled with other cigars. I
Right.
love her so much.
There you
That's awesome. Well, happy birthday, Stephen. Thanks for joining us.
go.
Oh, that's awesome. Hello,
What are
Tig
you
Lily.
What are you drinking?
I told you pre-show that I'm having some back issues,
Yeah.
so I've been taking a medication that, well, according to this, may cause dizziness and this may cause blurred vision. So I'm not gonna. And it says do not drink with alcohol. So I'm drinking a Coke Zero. And
You know
if
that.
Coca Cola is out there,
Uh-huh.
Coca Cola Zero, the best
Wait,
tasting Coca Cola ever.
wait. What was the Coke tagline? Something and a friend.
Have a Coke and a smile. No, that's
Coke
a
and a
different one.
smile. Have
Yeah,
a
Coke
Coke
and a
and a
smile.
smile.
Or I'd love to give the
Oh,
world a
right. Mean
coconut.
Joe Green, buddy.
That's right. That's right.
See. And I was gonna say that's just big pharma. Alcohol makes those types of medications more effective, and they don't want you to do that.
That's
That's
a good point. Well,
yeah.
hello, Jaro. Welcome, Jimmy. Nice to see you. Boy, we've got a lot of. See, you know what it was? Is we were telling everybody that we're going to do a happy show, and everybody in today's world
Thank God.
wants to be
Thank
happy,
goodness.
and so they
That's
want to
right.
be here with us. And I think Bruce might be feeling a little bit guilty because he didn't join us on our Zoom call
Oh,
on Sunday. But
whatever gets them here.
he's a busy man. He's a
Yeah.
busy man.
I'm
And
sipping on my gin and juice, and the juice being Diet Squirt.
mhm.
Diet Squirt and juice.
and you're also drinking it in your happy
Oregon State
Oregon
mug. That's
State
right.
mug. Yeah. See,
Represent.
it's just
Represent.
happy. It's happy everywhere.
Yeah.
Happy everywhere. So, how has your happy week gone so far?
Wow. How can
Positive
I
only.
am
Positive only.
excited to have a job that keeps me busy. How's that?
There you
Not
go.
everybody, has a meaningful career, and yeah, and it makes me so much happier to crawl into bed at night. And it makes me look forward to the weekend even more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, that the one thing I will say about this show tonight is we are going to be shoveling a whole bunch of crap.
Sunshine right up your wazoo.
That's right up your wazoo. Well, as you know, Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays I have the shop closed, so it's my
Yeah.
time off. And with this back thing, it's been interesting, but we're getting the coach ready for our first major camping trip. And having driven a semi truck years ago at some point in my life, there's something about those trucks that go down the road and they have all those marker lights on them at night. They just look cool. So I had to add some marker lights to the coach.
So what, do you just get those strip LEDs that all the kids
No,
have
no, no.
around their room?
They're the because we had a mechanic come out today and check the electrical system from front to back, make sure that we've got good solar charging, good battery charging. So he was out here anyways. So we checked.
What color?
We checked thing. We've got amber in the middle of the coach and then red on the back.
I see. No
So
purple.
it's
no
actually
red.
no. It's actually for me, so I can see where the end of the coach is at night. Because as
Wow.
you advance in age, you can't see
Yeah.
worth a damn. So, and
You've got
another
a
reason,
backup camera, right?
yeah, we've got
Okay.
a backup camera too. But another reason to be happy is this right here. It's not 120 degrees here today. We got up to, well, I guess I should explain where we live is above the valley of Tucson. So we're about 5 to 7 degrees cooler. So I think we ended up at 101, 102. But we're under an extreme, and this is another thing I won't go into because it's not happy. But we're under an extreme heat warning with temperatures over the next 3 days between 109 and 113, I guess.
That's nice that they warn you so you can be prepared.
But here's the thing. It's just June. In Arizona, it's June. It's June. I mean, it's just June. But we don't have the humidity. And I know that Cajun Blade, we had a conversation for my YouTube channel earlier today, that the dry heat, because where he's at,
Dry heat.
it's swampy heat.
Yeah. I mean, and that, we joke about that 120, I would be miserable. But even 100 when you're at like 90% humidity, good God.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's here at least, you walk. I mean, towels in Arizona in June are optional because as soon as you get out of the shower, it gets sucked off you and you're dry. You're dry.
That's
You don't have to worry
great.
about it. Yeah, so
That's
it's
nice,
happy.
Dave.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
happy. I mean, the scorpions are happy. The snakes, the rattlesnakes are happy. Everybody's happy that it's and we get a great view of the sun. We get a wonderful close-up view of the sun.
Close up, yeah.
A close-up
No
view of the sun.
clouds, nothing in the way.
And another
Yeah.
thing that made me laugh today is that I saw a meme on some social media that said Florida has now taken its new position next to the sun, and I just sit there and laugh and go, Florida. That's adorable. That's adorable. So my week, yeah, that's been pretty much because my week actually starts tomorrow. So, but yeah,
So
all
are
things
we
all
doing
things
this
are
the
good.
same way?
Well,
Do I have
let us explain this. So, for those of you that are here were here last week, Dave and I had to put on a persona, which is not us. We had to put on a mean, crusty, just a bad, negative persona because what we were doing is we each have a list of 10 items that are things that last week we had to complain about,
Yeah.
and we had to complain about them. Now this week, with everything that's happy, I mean, I am channeling the spirit of Bob Ross and the happy trees and all that other stuff. We've both got lists this time of items that we have to love. We have to be positive about. We have to be complimentary. Hence
Right.
the term that we're going to be shoveling a lot of stuff. So, and you guys can throw in some ideas on that too in the lounge, and you can tell us. So, would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
No, I'll go ahead.
Okay. So,
I want to hear everything you love about dealing with the black water tank of an RV.
oh, well, okay. So, the wonderful, wonderful world of holding tanks is so wonderful because you have two. You have a gray and you have a black. The gray tank takes all your sink water, your shower water, and just that wonderful aroma of Dawn dishwashing liquid
Nice.
and urinal cakes and all that, and just holds that. Then you have the black tank, and I don't know why it's called the black tank because it is what gives back to nature.
Is that more brown? Brown tank,
It
maybe?
well, yeah, I guess you could say that. And it just, and what's cool is that when you're draining the black tank, you always keep the gray tank open and you keep the black tank closed. Oh, a Dutch baby.
Cool.
I thought he was making a comment about the black tank. Like I didn't know there was a name for that. But and so you keep the gray tank open, and then when you're ready to wash out, you open up the black tank, and all that pre-processed or post-processed food that you've enjoyed and everything else
Mhm.
goes down, and they want you to be so positive about emptying at a dump station, which is kind of odd that they use that name. They have a clear viewing window.
That's
So
fun.
so the clear viewing window is you see happen. And then also if you make a
Uh,
mistake, it's still positive because they have what they call a poop pyramid that can happen.
huh? You
I
mean
guess
build up?
it's build up, yes. And so I think that the emoji that you see, the poop emoji,
Yeah,
is
accurate.
probably is yeah, it's accurate. So it's got a little, and I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard
Hmm.
rumor
Well,
that
here's hoping.
when you see it go down, it actually looks at you, smiles
Uh,
before yeah. So it's a positive thing all the way around.
it's nice. Circle of
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, circle of life,
Yeah.
and actually there's another thing where you can get a macerator where it macerates everything, and then you can actually dump anywhere in the United. You dig a hole and you can dump it anywhere.
Is that
So
a
it
poop
give
blender?
yeah, basically, yeah.
That
It's like
sounds. I mean,
no, it sounds
great
wonderful.
for you. Great for you.
Yeah, boy, you came right out of the gate for me to have to be positive about that,
Well,
but it is. So are you ready for yours?
sure.
Okay, I need you to be positive and tell me all the benefits of shopping at Costco.
Well, you
Now,
know,
this was based on a post you made.
right. You walk in and you do get that wonderful scent of the Costco cheese pizza, which is hard to beat, right?
On the
And
rotisserie chicken.
yeah, well, that's in the back, right? You got to
Okay.
work your way back to that. But I think of Costco as a great training ground for patience. And you go in there and you might not be the most patient person, but because you don't want to end up in jail or with a lawsuit, right? You deal with all these people stopping in the middle of the aisles, cutting in front of you,
But
and
you
it
can
trains
converse.
you just
It,
to relax and be calm.
but isn't it positive, especially when you're in the middle and you're looking for a pair of jeans or a shirt and somebody comes up and just, it's amazing how they can flourish all these clothes into different spots. And then the positivity of the Costco employees as they're refolding the same shirt over and
Over
over
and over.
again. Yeah. So
They're
there,
sweethearts. Plus, the parking lot is a wonderful place where you can just sit and wave at folks that are, not caring if you're crossing the road. Uh, you know, so all in
and
all,
what
it's a very nice social experiment.
Well, isn't what about the what about the I've heard that the utopia of the Costco gas station is just amazing. I've
Dave,
heard that it's just
I wouldn't know.
amazing. Well, but you have another gas vehicle.
Yeah, we don't go there for that.
Oh, okay.
We don't
But
go. I mean, we live in the blissful land that we realize it's not worth the extra quarter to take an extra trip to fill up the gas
but I've
tank.
heard that people when they're waiting to fill up their gas powered vehicles, they queue up perfectly and they're waving and they're laughing and
Yeah.
they're I hear I hear it's kind of like Disneyland.
Well,
You
plus
know.
you're there long enough to really soak in the fumes, which
Mhm.
reminds you probably your childhood and running the gas mower and all that stuff. And
We have a
yeah.
question that's kind of a crossover from the cadre.
Mm. Yeah. So the break character, right? We're running bingo on the shaving cadre, and I'm calling bingo. And yes, Jaro, you are correct that it would have to be posted on the website for it to be an official bingo call.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, and I've also heard that especially well, and I've heard and I've been to I use Sam's Club They're a competitor a lot, but I guess on Thursdays or Saturdays, you can actually go in
Yeah.
completely famished, and you can have pretty much a 17-course meal
Yeah.
walking
You
through.
know, the other thing that's cool is that you go in just for, a bag of pistachios, as people
Mm-hmm.
will,
Sure.
and you end up finding all sorts of stuff you didn't know you needed in the first place. And thank goodness, because if you didn't go there, you wouldn't have found that other $200 worth of things that you really needed.
Well, and then on top of that, when you have the nice drive home, leaving the parking lot, because obviously you have to put in, an extra 20 to 30 minutes just to find a parking space. And then, there's fun in that, just driving around. And then when you drive out of the parking space and you get home,
Mm.
this other stuff that you have found that comes in these wonderful, huge, large boxes, you have to do Jenga in your house
Yeah.
to kind of store things. I mean, how much more fun is there than that?
Right.
I
We're on
mean,
the
it's
same
just
page with this one.
exactly.
Now, you talk about it being warm where you live.
Yes.
And, from time to time, when you're walking down the street doing your shopping, as you do on Sundays, I believe is
Mondays, yes.
Mondays is barber errand day.
Right.
I imagine there's been a few times when something just doesn't feel right, and you realize you stepped in a glob of gum that's
Mm-hmm.
now creating a trail between the sidewalk and the bottom of your shoe, and it's stuck up
Yes.
into the treads of your shoe.
Right.
I
Well,
want to hear about that.
the good news about that is most of the tennis shoes or whatever the shoes that I wear have a waffle type pattern in their sole.
Yeah.
So the benefit of the chewing gum that wonderful people have just decided to give back to nature and throw wherever they want willy-nilly, is you step in that, and if you've had any type of crack or any type of problem with that sole, it
Mm,
immediately bonds to the sole.
seals
And
that up.
then,
Yeah.
yeah, and then what's better is you get texture because as you're walking, you're getting little pebbles and dirt and stuff in there. So it's really a reparative
Oh,
thing. It really is. It really is.
smart.
Yeah, it,
Yeah.
it works out. It works out well. We know also that you enjoy the vino. You like wine.
Oh, please.
And I
Yes.
know that one of your favorite things
Mhm.
as far as wine for storage is box wine. Tell me why box wine is so much better than the wines that you normally get in glass bottles.
Yeah. Well, you know that I drastically overpay for most bottle of wines, and so if you buy a box wine, it's very economical. I mean, you're paying by the gallon, which is really the smartest way to do it. Um, and the bottles of wine, I don't like to drink old wine, right? So once the cork's out, you got to drink the whole thing or it goes down the sink.
Sure.
These ingenious boxes of wine just shrink down the bag inside so no air can get in, so you
Oh.
can enjoy it over time if you wish. I
Mhm.
assume most people, when they bust open a box of wine, finish it in one night with, all their hillbilly friends on the back of a pickup truck. But
Playing
if you
music,
don't,
playing music with
the
banjos and
banjo and the wash tub, right, as you
hmm
would.
right.
But if you don't, it's going to taste just as whatever it did the first day, 3 days later, right?
Bruce, don't be negative, Bruce. Box wine has got a
Mm.
ethereal feeling to it. See, I mean,
And
look,
this is a good
Jimmy
point.
Jimmy even proves it. You can take it out of the box, stick a straw in it, and now you have an adult juice box.
Can you imagine? They've got those big, huge straws for the boba drinks, the
Hmm.
bubble drinks. You
Yes,
could suck down that bag so quick with one of them straws.
exactly. And the thing is, when you think about it, you have wonderful companies that put out these box wines.
Yeah, like
You could,
Bob and
yeah, and
Box Wine of Tucson.
oh, exactly. Thunderbird wine. All these wonderful wine that, and
Mhm.
also some of these box wines mix very, very well with orange juice. I mean, so you can get your breakfast and your
Yeah.
grape. I mean, it's just, yeah, it's wonderful.
Now, see, this is a wonderful idea.
Yes, it is.
Just refill my bottles of wine when I have guests over. That's good to hear that before Dave comes
Well,
over with his RV. And
exactly. When here, here's another thing. The one thing about box wines is because if you buy the expensive bottles of wine, you need to have a wine rack. Some of the wines you have to have temperature controlled. The thing with box wines,
what? Yeah,
you throw them in the fridge and there's a spigot. You can
for
just walk up with
free. It
exactly
comes
in the
with that.
morning if you're not feeling like a cup of coffee, you just go in and you just you take it and boom and
Yeah.
who knows? I mean,
Wow.
it's
Breakfast
there is
wine.
yeah,
Yeah.
there is positive to that. Exactly.
Uh-oh. Are you getting chastised?
Who, me?
Uh-oh.
What?
Are you
What are you
back?
talking?
Oh, you froze and went away,
Oh,
or I
oh,
did.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
You're
to.
back.
Well,
All
it
right.
was probably the emotion of the box wine that was just getting
Right.
me excited.
Are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
Sitting in the middle seat on an airplane in economy class.
Oh, it's one of those things that you only have happen to you a couple of times in your lifetime, and it's like a bucket list item for most people. And the beauty, especially if you're flying by yourself and not with your family, or even
That's
better,
the
if you're
best.
flying with your family and the airline has decided they want to make you special and they put your
Yeah.
family somewhere else and you get in the middle. What makes it the best is if you're flying in June. Okay. And and especially out of Tucson because of the heat here, people will have shorts and flip flops and t-shirts, and sometimes there's obviously when you're walking from the parking lot to the terminal and then you go through the lines and stuff, there's a certain amount of perspiration that occurs. And sitting in the middle seat, you get the beauty of having someone
Yeah.
like if you have a lady that is a little bit more there's a little bit more volume per
Robust.
se,
Yeah.
robust, yes, and then you have a gentleman that
Hmm.
has maybe he's dropped his cologne and it sprittered all over him, and you get stuck, and there's something so slimming about sitting in the middle seat, and you're sitting there and you don't, even though you have armrests that you share with the other two parties, you are so it's a very slimming thing. So when the flight attendants walk by, it's very very nice because you look svelte, you look good,
Indeed.
and your eyes are bright and wide, and your nostrils are flared, and you reach up and you turn on the airflow, and then one of those two people will reach up and turn your airflow knob off
For
because they
you.
don't well yeah because they don't want you to get cold. And then the really the best part of this whole thing, the best part is when you're sitting between those two people
Yeah.
and for some reason you have to go to the restroom,
Yeah.
because then you have to as you're getting up, most people will kind of scooch this way or
Yeah,
scooch
tell
this
me
way.
about it because this sounds terrible. Yeah.
No, it's not
Yeah.
terrible. It's a blast because as you're going by, you feel the warmth, you feel the wetness, and you feel parts of their body that you really normally would never feel as you head back. And then when you come back, you look over and you say, fellow travelers, I need to get back in. And they usually give you just such a wonderful smile and everything else. So it's a bucket list item. It really is.
Mm.
It really is. And I
Wow.
just, and then, and of course, oh, the other thing, and Tig Lily brings it up. Tig Lily brings this up perfect. Very, very, sometimes you will get where both parties will take off their shoes
Mm.
and they will find that time at 35,000 feet with 4.5 hours left on your flight, they need to make sure that their toe hygiene
Yeah.
is good. And if you're lucky enough, oh, and this is like playing beer pong. If you've got a drink, your little soda sitting there, and somebody clips their toenail, and you can watch the toenail as it spins and it
Yeah.
lands right in your drink. I mean,
You know,
that's
all that
utopia,
means
man.
is you know that if you want to borrow a pair of clippers, it's a free for all at that point.
Exactly.
They've opened that
Exactly.
door for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I said, it's a bucket list item. It doesn't happen often enough on most
Right.
airlines, and stuff like that. But speaking of utopia, speaking of things that we love to have, I
Mhm.
would like to know why you feel that FedEx is the absolute best carrier of packages and mail in the United
Wow,
States.
you dug deep for these, didn't
I
you?
did. I did.
You did. Well, I would say the first thing is the anticipation, right? It's kind of like Christmas. I don't like to open my presents early because you once it's over, right?
Hmm.
So waiting for Christmas to come and FedEx with their delivery dates that change on a whim, it leaves you guessing, right? When is it going to show up today? Maybe not, maybe tomorrow.
So
Maybe
it's
they'll
like
hold it
Santa.
over. Right,
It's like
maybe they'll hold
Santa.
it over to next week. And then they take it sometimes one step further. It's on the truck for delivery, and then the driver times out at 5 o'clock, and they go back to the warehouse. So that makes me feel good that they're not overworking their employees, keeping them on the clock overtime just to bring me something that I probably don't need that day. It could be medication, it could be a spare heart, whatever. I can wait, right? But I don't want them to show up late for dinner at their own house. So, from that aspect, I really appreciate that they don't go out of their way for little old me.
Well, and another thing that I notice about FedEx that's so neat is they keep that guessing going because if you have their app, that
Yes.
shows the delivery stuff, they look at it and they say, "Oh no, 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 Dave, we're not going to tell you where it's at, when it's going to be there because that would ruin the surprise." And then if it comes after Christmas, it's like you've had two Christmases.
That's right. Well, and kudos to them, because you buy something on Amazon, and sometimes not only do you know exactly the day it's going to show up, but you can track the truck it's on. And it's
Hmm.
like, what fun? I know when it's going to show up. What fun is that?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
and like, and Amazon will take a picture of where they set it. Right. What fun is that? I mean, there's nothing like going out, especially if you've got a larger property and you're not quite
Mm,
sure if it's going to be that day. So it's like an Easter egg hunt for
Easter,
3 days in
right,
a row. You go out and say, okay, did he put it there? Did he put it there?
right.
Did he just toss it? I mean, all kinds of fun like that.
Well, and have they done this for you, where sometimes they'll say it's been delivered and it really hasn't, so they send you on that
Exactly.
goose chase for a while?
Ex-
That's so
That's
much fun.
so much fun. It really is.
Yeah.
It's like an adult Easter egg hunt.
Right.
Ah, FedEx, we love you.
All right. You know, we've been talking about this a lot on the forums. I want to know what you love about daylight savings time.
Well, the thing is, I mean, we here in Arizona, we are so much.
It'll be
I have
the
to,
day after they say it.
oh, Stephen, I am so sorry. You always know the day it's coming. It will be the day after. The thing is, though, but like today is your birthday. If you knew that it was there today, where's the surprise? I mean,
This is really tough not to go on negative tangents when we're talking about this because
you
it
have no
brings up
idea.
stories. Yeah, yeah.
So, but anyhow, back to daylight savings time.
Yeah.
We in Arizona are a little bit behind the curve, I believe. I think that having multiple time zones in one specific country to benefit the farmers which no longer use it is just such a benefit to everybody. I mean, having it be like right now we're on the same time zone, but amazingly, come November,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna time warp and you're gonna go back to 3 o'clock or back to 2 o'clock
I'm not
where
supposed
right.
to be negative, but then I have to reset all the clocks and stuff.
No. Use the FedEx model for that. Saying, "Oh my gosh, it's November 10th. I've got 14,000 clocks in my house. I get to go find them. Number one, and number two, I need to see if I remember on how to use the clock setting rather than trying to find out where
Mm.
the manuals are." But to me, what I love is there's a part of the day when I can look towards the east and say, Jerry or Bruce, it's tomorrow. I am talking to you in the future. I mean, that is fantastic. See, we in Arizona, we never change our time. Never. We're always the same. Blah, blah, blah. It's 2 o'clock.
Oh, it sounds like
It
you're
never
complaining
changes.
about that, Dave.
No, 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 no. I'm complaining about what we have, which is Mountain Standard Time. So
Mm.
we're the only ones that just sit here and go,
Mm.
well, I don't know what anybody else is going to do, but we ain't changing our clocks. So, so there's times of the year where, yes, sadly, you will lose an hour, but there's other times when you get to sleep in an extra hour. We never get to do that. We
Oh,
never get to do
yeah.
that. So I believe daylight savings time is something that was created by God to let
Mm.
people enjoy the light, because what better thing is it to be 11 o'clock at night and still see the sun shining?
This-
I mean, it's fantastic.
and you said it was because of the farmers that don't use it anymore, but there's something to be said about carrying on tradition.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
there is, and and the thing is, in Arizona, because we are such a transient state, we don't have very many traditions, other than the fact that
Mm.
sadly, this is not negative; it's a positive. Is I think there are some things here where we are not really good at setting clocks. So
You do have that elderly population.
exactly. So we can learn
That
from
could
daylight.
be the root of all of that.
It could be, and
Yeah.
and it's funny. Arizona, when daylight savings time started, everybody was considering, and everybody said, absolutely, we want to be able to talk to Dave in Arizona in the past. We want to be able to talk to him in the future. And so I think that Arizona just said, we can't handle that. We can't figure that out. Now, the bad part about this positivity is if Steven sees this, KJ's already watching it. So KJ is going to use this against me, but that's okay. It's a happy time. But speaking
Uh-oh.
speaking
Mm.
of people that love that love the different parts of the world and everything that's going on, tell me what you love, what you absolutely adore about opinionated people.
Oh.
Did I stump you?
Well, wow. What I like about that is that it lets me know that I don't need to spend a lot of time interacting with them, right? That instead
Hmm.
of spending a lot of time, kind of finding out their personality and all this stuff, and then, down the road, you find out through somebody else that maybe, they don't like something you said and all that, and then you feel bad about it and all that. I like that they just let you know right from the gate, hey, don't waste your time on me.
Hmm.
That is super respectful.
Well, yeah, because when you look at it that way, they're respectful enough to look at you and look at your beliefs and say, I don't want to waste your time, so I'm just going to be who I am,
Yeah.
and then you have the decision to say, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate that. They're confident, as Jimmy said, they're confident in their beliefs, and
Yeah.
they don't have time. They don't have time because
Well,
they're
and
such busy people.
it can take a lot of effort to present logical arguments to things. And these are people that just say, I don't care what the facts are. I'm like,
Good point.
great. Less
Right.
time that I have to worry about.
Well, yeah, because they probably have very low blood pressure because they don't
Mm.
have to worry about
Yeah.
showing people, and because their opinions are the word. They are the way.
That's just,
And
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're amazing. It's amazing people. Amazing, amazing.
Dave,
Yes,
another,
Dave.
another, another, heat Arizona type of thing.
Hmm.
Maybe, do you have leather seats in your car?
I do.
I kind of figured you would. You're a classy guy. Talk to me about hot leather seats with shorts in the summertime.
It is a feeling unlike anything that you'll ever
I
have.
bet it is. I bet
You
it
know,
is.
without turning this show into a sexual bad thing, there's a special feeling when you go out to your car, especially if you're fortunate enough to be able to park it in the direct sunlight.
Right.
Because when you open up that car and you feel just
Like
that
the oven.
thick, oh yeah, you feel that thick warm air just embracing you and just hugging you, and then you sit down, and if you have shorts, you feel that wondrous, I want to say it's an endorphin rush.
Does it
Because
sizzle?
oh no, it doesn't sizzle, but
Huh?
it grabs onto you, and it's like a big hot hug. It grabs onto you and just
Mm,
and actually it's a safety thing too, because when you sit down
yeah.
and your seat has been completely in the sun all day, you sit down, you immediately get sucked into the seat, you get sucked down to the bottom, and you are not moving. You are not moving at all. And a benefit to that, even though this is not the seat, as you reach over and you grab your seatbelt,
Ooh, yeah.
the cool thing is that nobody in Arizona needs to go to a tattoo parlor. You don't need to go, because as you come across with that, if it sits there,
Brand.
you get a beautiful D. And with my name being Dave, oh my gosh, it's perfect. So every once in a while, what Sharon and I
Okay.
will do is we'll switch positions, because if I want the D on this side, well, then I got to get in the passenger seat and get the
Yeah.
D on this side. And then really the culmination of all this, when you sit down in Arizona on a leather or a pleather seat, is when you get to your destination and you go to get out of the car and you literally hear this. You hear that. And what's nice about that is, even though we shave every day, and we take the whiskers off, what this does is this is a skin rejuvenator. It really is, because that sound,
back of your thigh.
that sound is just yeah, exactly what Tigla says. It's a natural exfoliation
Yeah.
given to us by the sun.
Now, see, Jaro, don't
wonderful.
take his pleasure away. He wants you to cover the seats
No,
up. So you
exactly.
Don't get to
No. I
experience
can't do that. And here's the other
that.
thing that's wonderful about the interior of a car. If you have black interior, it's even
Yeah.
better. And then what you can do is, let's say you need a snack.
Yeah.
You can actually take that roll of Pillsbury chocolate chip cookies, put it on a cookie sheet, put it in your dashboard, and then
Oh,
drive to your destination. And when you get to your destination, you got warm cookies.
that's got to smell incredible.
Oh, it is. It is.
I can't imagine.
It's the world's air freshener. It's just wonderful.
Right. I mean, when they sell homes, sometimes they put the cookies right
Absolutely.
to make you feel at
Absolutely.
home. And
Yeah. So getting in the car with shorts, it's a life-changing experience. Number one, it's definitely a life-changing experience. But again, that endorphin rush that you get when you feel that
I bet.
yeah, it's amazing. It's
Bet.
amazing. And speaking of things that just give you that wondrous thing, tell me how much you love store-bought Brussels sprouts.
Dave, where else do you buy Brussels sprouts?
No, I'm talking about the frozen ones. The frozen ones that come in a frozen package, and they have that wonderful pungent, been in the freezer section for 14 years type of flavor.
Well, you're gonna have to. I've never had those, Dave.
You're missing
We've
out.
only bought in fresh Brussels
Oh,
sprouts.
You're missing out, because they have a shade of green that only Green Giant can actually infuse into these Brussels sprouts. There's no green in nature anything like this. And
Are
then-
they like in a brick, like when you get spinach?
Oh no, they're all loose in there, and
Okay.
and sometimes they're allowed to get freezer burn, which is a
Oh.
whole nother flavor profile. And then you boil them, and but it's good because here's the thing. I mean, and I'm sorry, I thought you had experienced this, but
no.
these Jolly Green Giant, they're thinking about you, and what they're thinking is that we don't want you to put too much butter on these, because if you put too much butter on them, you'll kill that pungent, sour, in your face, baby cabbage that's
Yeah.
rotting type of flavor. I'm sorry. I wish you would have.
So if you boil them, is that soup?
No. See, that's the beauty of these things is they stay completely formed just like they were 6 months ago. They're just they're just
Just
yeah they're
like when they were fresh.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. Yeah.
All right. All right. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry you haven't had. You'll have to try that.
Yeah. What about the number one Mexican food in the country, Taco Bell, as Mexican food?
You know, I feel so sad for the local Hispanic community here because for 40, 50, 60 years, generations,
Mm.
grandmothers, the abuelitos, the abuelas, they've been cooking this rot gut Mexican food. Refried beans that are soupy, cheese enchiladas that just melt in your mouth, just disgusting stuff because they've had to compete with Taco Bell. I mean,
Mm.
Taco Bell, where is it that you can have a hot sauce that tastes the same, whether it's mild, medium, hot, or Diablo? It's the same sauce. Or you can have a guacamole that tastes unlike an avocado. I mean, they're so good at making things happen. And then also the fact that they want to keep you guessing. They want you to be
Mm.
healthy. The meat that's in a Jack in the Box or a Jack in the Box, that's a whole nother one. But a Taco
Yeah.
Bell taco, they actually at one point they used to mix oatmeal into their burger, their hamburger or
That's
the
healthy.
hamburger like yeah, and so it's healthy. And then you get a taco or a burrito that's got the mixture of the shredded cheese on top.
Mm.
And what's amazing about that shredded cheese is it never melts. It never ever melts. And here's another thing that Tig Lily, yeah, you never have to buy a stool softener. So they're saving you money.
Yeah.
The tortillas, oh, what makes them so good is they taste like plastic. It is so wonderful to have that chemical plastically feel. And I can see why USA Today called Taco Bell the number one Mexican food in the United States. I mean,
Yeah.
it really should be a gourmet restaurant where you have to make reservations. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
serious. It really is.
Well, and given all that, I appreciate that you support the local restaurants just, to
Well,
charge up the economy.
I got to slim it down every once in a while. I mean, I can't eat a Taco Bell every day. I mean, and they keep the prices. I mean, you can go for $4 and eat everything. And what's cool about it is Taco Bell thinks about your health too, because they know that they are going to be able to cleanse your colon at the same time. I mean, it's wonderful.
We were this close.
We were this close. So, still sticking with food because we're told that we have to always come back to food. Is
Hmm.
tell me, because I know that you love food. I know that you love high end stuff. Tell me
Yeah.
what you love about banquet frozen dinners.
But before I answer this, I wanna say if any of the barflies have a suggestion of things that they think we can't be positive about,
Mm-hmm.
shout them out in the chat. Banquet dinners, first of all, again, how efficient is that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take up what, an inch in your freezer, and
Right.
it's a whole meal, and it's stuff that you could never make at home, like Salisbury steak. Have you ever seen that anywhere except for a frozen meal? I
No.
don't even know what that is.
Exactly.
If
That's
you want Salisbury steak, you've got to go to a frozen,
yeah, and
now
it could be
microwave
it could be
meal.
TV dinner. Yeah, banquet was just the
Right.
brand, but yeah, any TV dinner.
That they've got the chewiest corn.
Yes.
They've got desserts that may or may not be done by the time it comes out of the
Oh, I
microwave.
remember as a kid the brownies. Just
Oh,
crunching and crunching and crunching those brownies. They're very, very good.
right. We're busy people. If you can throw something in the microwave, it's got to be much healthier than going to the fast food restaurants.
Oh,
You've got
absolutely.
meat and vegetables. It's like a four-course meal.
It really is. And the thing is, and for those people that are in a rush, that can't do anything, the best banquet meal of them all is the turkey dinner. You've
Mm,
got turkey, you've got stuffing like stuff, you've got mashed potatoes, you've got you can eat Thanksgiving
right.
in 2 minutes.
For what is it now? $1.99?
I think so. I think so. And
Amazing.
it is. There's
Yeah.
nothing like a banquet frozen dinner.
Yeah.
Nothing like it.
Yeah. All right. I guess it's my turn here.
Hmm.
Was Bruce asking us to talk about broken bones? Or I don't know. Did I miss something?
Well, that's true. If you break your bone, you get narcotics, but
You
that's
get
for another
narcotic.
show.
Well, and you get that cool cast, and now the casts are come in any color you want.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
have to paint them or, give people markers and stuff to mark up your
Plus,
cast.
plus, Bruce obviously gives you the opportunity to make up a really cool story,
Hmm.
right? Because at our age, well, how are you going to break your bone? You misstepped, you missed one step, you hit the second one, and you fell and tried to stop, and you broke your arm. Is that what you're going to tell your friend? No, I was skiing in Arizona. That's how that
Absolutely.
happened.
Hmm.
Right. Drag racing,
Yeah.
sumo wrestling.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. They're never going to believe you did that stuff. But if you got a broken bone, they're going to buy any story you tell them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, Dave. Um, how about pickleball?
The greatest single sport that has ever been created on this planet. Where else can you play a sport that mixes wiffle ball, ping pong, tennis, and and racquetball all in one sport? And not only that, you're only 6 to 8 feet away from the other guy. So you can have a conversation, and the
Hmm.
sound that pickleball makes is just amazing. It's one of those. It's one of the and oh and actually, Jaro just said it perfectly that pickleball keeps our medical people in having jobs, because
Right.
I see it all the time: broken leg, broken ankle, stitches, because the game is so incredibly fast, and the people that play pickleball are so incredibly limber that they're moving so fast that they get injured so often because they've exceeded what is humanly possible in a game. It's amazing what pickleball does. I mean it.
Well, I
And
can't
well,
wait to hear you start learning that game.
I've thought about that, and it's one of those bucket list items that I will do before I die.
You
It
work
really
in
is.
a retirement community. So pairing that with Bruce's suggestion, if you broke your ankle playing pickleball,
Hmm.
you'd be the star.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. In fact, these guys, they will strut around the ranch
Well,
saying, "Hey, this was because of pickleball," and everybody just goes, "Wow, wow," and it's amazing. Okay, I want to come back to something that you asked me about a little earlier. Uh-oh, I'm back. That was weird.
yeah.
That that I asked you about earlier. And what it was is that we talked about daylight savings time. I want you to tell me why you are so envious, as is the rest of the barflies and the rest of everybody in the country, about Arizona's Mountain Standard Time.
Well, I think we pretty much covered a lot of that. First of all, you guys don't have to worry about changing your clocks, right? All those
Hmm.
old folks where it's blinking 11 o'clock, they don't have to go change it to blinking 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever. It could just keep blinking 12 o'clock all year round, and it's still accurate.
Hmm.
Um, Plus, you guys have the envy of it's the same as the FedEx thing. Is that the rest of the country all knows what time it is everywhere but Arizona. And it
Hmm.
creates this air of mystery. And it's like this kind of forbidden land of like, who knows what the hell time it is there? They're like, it's like island time, man. It's like, whatever.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like going through the it's like being on the ocean in a ship and there's a mist. What is on the other side of that mist? And
Right.
that's, and only a very select few can be invited in to
Right.
that
It's like
mist.
you'd have that fence around Arizona where it's kind of like
Hmm.
we're Arizona, you're everybody else.
Exactly. And the sad part about it is, unfortunately, and this is the only negative thing I'll say, is that Arizona has reached such a level of standard when it comes to time that tons of people are very, very, very confused on how to calculate that time. and
Uh-huh.
and I feel bad for that. But we feel that we need to be universal. We Arizona is the time of the stars. So when the
Oh,
aliens show up, when Captain Kirk and his buddies or the Klingons show up, they're going to say, "We want to go to Arizona first because we're not going to have to change."
right. Because otherwise they're traveling through the star. How long does that take? And then they hit the rest of the country and they're like, we don't know what time is it?
Exactly. They don't know what time to eat
Somebody
those
check a
people. Yeah.
calendar.
Exactly. And I do need to make a correction. Indiana, Tig Lily, no longer, for whatever reason, they decided to jump on the
Came to their
bandwagon.
came to
Yeah,
their
exactly.
senses.
So, okay, I'm ready for the next one, Dave.
Minivans. I know you've touted how you wish you had a minivan.
We do have one.
Why is that?
We do have one.
Hmm.
I mean, what is cooler? What is absolutely cooler than being in a nice T-shirt, your shorts, of which, if the minivan has leather seats, now you're even in
You can
better.
lay down on them. Yeah.
Exactly. And you drive by, and there's and I'm going to say the word, some jackass who's driving a Corvette or something like that, and you can look down on him and say, "I'm a soccer dad. Look at me. I've got a minivan. I can carry a ton of stuff in the back. I can carry 53 screaming kids in the back of this, and I can go through a drive-through and get them all milkshakes." What's better than that? There's nothing
Man,
better. Yeah.
jealousy.
You
Pure
can sleep in
jealousy.
it. Let's say that you ran out of gas and you need to sleep in a parking lot. Boom. You fold down the seats, you're
That's right.
done. Yeah.
What did Dexter drive? Did he have an
I don't know what he
I
did.
don't know any.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um,
Bruce. So the only reason I asked is again, when Dave's in his grumpy old man persona, he swore he would never drive a minivan. But yeah, obviously,
well,
that's all.
and
That's
I
not
was
true.
I was mistaken, because when we bought the minivan for Sharon's mom, there was nothing like getting in, and that door, click, whoosh, and it's wide open. I mean, you could actually,
Yeah.
if you could get that minivan up to altitude, you could actually parachute out of that minivan.
It's
I
kind of
mean,
like
yeah,
Star Trek, right?
exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. It actually looked a lot like the shuttle. Yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's
I
wonderful.
bet it is.
Exactly. So, talking about Arizona and stuff like that, tell me what you love. And we did this on one of our shows, but tell me what you absolutely love about the taste, the texture of hot sauce.
Oh, well, come on. I mean, that's just like the leather seats in summertime, right? The
Hmm.
endorphin rush, where the best part is if you are going to be adventurous and put it on your food, and you accidentally, you know how little for me,
Hmm.
little drop, and then just a little too much gets in one spot, and you try to mix it in, spread it around, and then it turns out you didn't spread it around quite enough,
Hmm.
and you take that bite and you get that fire and the lava and all of this stuff, and you're
It's an
just like,
adventure.
what an experience. And then so you work your way through that, and you're eating dinner, right? So you
Hmm.
still want to keep eating, and then you're like, boy, my lips feel kind of numb,
Sure.
and my tongue feels kind of numb, and then it just makes you feel manly at that point. You're
Oh,
just like, I'm
absolutely.
gonna just power through and finish my dinner, even though it feels like my tongue is on fire.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like
it's
it turns your meal into an adventure, like you said.
exactly. That's what's
Right.
wonderful about it. Okay, we've got two more, so go ahead and give me your number 9.
The LA Dodgers.
Oh, America's team. America's team. America's team. I mean, what other baseball team can be so confident in how they play the game that they will wear one color? Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, because my video is going out. But you can wear one color and brag and brag and brag, and your fans will brag and brag and brag and get so they're so proud of their team that no other team in baseball can compete. I mean, we have an aficionado, Steve, that he is so passionate about the Dodgers that he's the spokesperson for that team. He really is, and it's America's team. It really is. It's America's team. So I
Yeah.
love him, love
We
him,
we,
love him to death.
we do have a request from the barflies. Is next time you serve Brussels sprouts, could you drown them in hot sauce so that they can't even be tasted?
There's a
So
good
next time you're
idea.
boiling your Brussels sprouts,
That's true. Well, the
yeah.
thing is, we try to do one thing with Brussels sprouts because you look at a Brussels sprout, it looks like a little baby cabbage. And
Mm.
I used to love cabbage rolls. The ones where you wrap the cabbage and beef, and there's a
Mm.
nice tomato sauce. The problem is with the Brussels sprout is the leaves are so tiny that you can only get one little bit. And I guess you could take some Taco Bell meat and roll it up and then put it in the hot sauce. Hey, we may have something here. We may
Wow.
have
Hors
something.
d'oeuvres.
Right.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, and the one thing we talked about Costco,
Uh-huh.
tell me how much you like standing in a line for anything.
Well, it gives you a lot of time to reflect, I think,
Ah, good point.
right? I mean, we're go, 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 social media, work, always got stuff to do. When you're standing in a line, you got to stand there, right? There's nothing else to do. So it gives you a little bit of downtime. And if you stand in a really long line, like if you're in Disneyland and you're waiting an
Disneyland.
hour for a ride and your back starts to get tired, right? That's letting you know that you don't exercise enough, right?
See, there's
Your
a benefit.
posture isn't good, and it's just this reminder of like stand up straight, let's do some stretches and all that. So I think overall it's a really healthy thing. It's
Well, and the other benefit is that if, let's say, somebody has enjoyed the utopia of Taco Bell and they're in front of you, they get to
oh,
test your olfactory senses because if they, allow the Taco Bell to escape them in a certain way, your olfactory senses
oh,
are what, and of course you're dedicated, so you can't step out of line. And it's a social experience because you can see so many people in one spot.
yeah. So
Oh, there's a great
Spider's an
idea. Did you see?
extrovert, this guy.
Exactly. Time spent in a line is great for having a dance party.
Yeah.
What a great idea. You have your little phone, you turn on the music, and you just you could use ska, you could use all kinds of stuff and entertain people in the
Yeah.
line. And I would imagine, knowing Spider, that when he is in a queue or in a line with his GQ hair, he's the conversation spot of the
The
line.
whole line.
The whole line.
The whole line.
The whole
I
line.
bet people take selfies with that guy.
Oh, absolutely. He's a
It's
celebrity.
funny.
He's
I
a
was I
celebrity.
was gonna go on to talk about my actual line experiences, but this is, I realize, the compliment show, so
Hmm.
I will check myself.
So give me your last one, and then I'll give you the last
My
one.
last one. Let's see. Let's do this came up in another show. Shave gel in a can.
Oh, it's where else can you put chemicals that are probably from off planet on your face, and it's quick. What's this crap with a shaving brush, a shaving bowl? You sit there and you spin the shaving brush in the shaving bowl. You add more water. You brush it on your face. Then you have to make sure that it's perfectly sheen and it's slick and bunk. You just take that and you get that sound, that wonderful sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you either have a gel or the gel turns into a shave cream. What magic
like
and
that.
yeah, what kind of magic is that? Or you have the Barbasol that you get that whipped cream flavor, and it's just, oh yeah. And then as you drag the razor across your face, and you
Mhm.
can feel that tug, that scratch as it comes. That's manly. That's like, I'm a man and I'm shaving, And you couple that with a
Mm.
cartridge razor that's got 63 blades on it. There's nothing better in the world, and the chemical smells that go along with it. In fact, see, it's got me so excited that I'm coughing about it.
You're salivating
Exactly,
thinking
I
about it.
am. I am. It's just it's an amazing, and yeah, the chemicals and stuff that you're introducing into your body probably help your immune system or kill it. But who needs an immune system, really?
Well, and what's nice is you're keeping probably the aluminum industry in fashion
Absolutely,
with tossing these
absolutely.
things into the trash
Right.
afterwards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So let's finish it up with probably one of the, and I know you're a big fan. I know that you're a big fan.
Even this.
Tell me what you love. I mean, recently in social media and in the world, we have what we call Karens and what we call Kens.
Yeah.
Social media is all over it. Okay.
Mhm.
So tell me what is so beneficial and what you love about the videos that you see Karens in.
Oh, well, they're informative is probably the biggest thing. Because I don't know what I'm supposed to be upset about.
Mm-hmm.
And then you watch that and you go like, "Wait a minute, that happened to me yesterday and I didn't get mad at all."
Right.
And then I feel like people are taking advantage of me, Dave.
Right.
And
So
so it's like
they're
next
giving
time
you a
that
benefit.
happens, I got to pitch a fit.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. I mean, how much more helpful can you be? They're letting you know, don't let people get one over on you. What do you deserve? What
Mm-hmm.
rights do I not know that I have?
Right. Well, and the thing is, and what it does show is it also shows technique of when, because one of a Karen that I saw that I literally was like, wow, this person's amazing, is to show the exact the 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 technique of how to throw at the same time this person is throwing a Coca-Cola on this very happy and probably appreciated this happening a Coke in an employee's face, and then at the same time coordinating taking their Big Mac or their cheeseburger and slapping it into the countertop. I mean, and then you get these negative Nellies that come out and either want to have the Karen arrested or they want to yell
Right.
at the Karen. Why would they
They were
do that?
mad about something.
Exactly. I mean,
Well,
it's.
and I'm super impressed about the self-confidence these people have. They're
Hmm.
like, everybody's watching me. I'm screaming like a little kid, but I know me and I know
Well,
my rights.
and the thing is, and their oral hygiene, their hair hygiene, and their clothing hygiene
Yeah.
is because you got to be confident to pull off spandex when you're a Karen. You have to be, and so I think they benefit the world. I think that I know that you love them. I know that
Yeah.
you have been a very big proponent of Karen's rights for a long, long time. So, you know,
That's right. Right.
and I do apologize to everybody. We've been having a couple of little glitches here and there tonight, and it's probably
It's
because this entire show has been bullshit.
Well, it's not right. It's this channel is not set up for this. That's the
No,
problem.
that's the thing, and and it's so real quick before we leave. We're pretty much almost out of time. Is there anything else that somebody would like to say? And see, here's one thing: what Amber said. Ska music is the music that plays in your head when you see your waiter coming to the table with your food. That is so true. It really is. It's really, really true. And that's one subject we didn't. The beauty of bad waiters or waitresses. We didn't even touch that, and that's just an incredible experience. It really
No,
is.
yeah, there's too. I mean, when the weather is great and the sun's out, there's too much to be happy about. I mean, we could talk about the folks that walk around on a phone call on speakerphone,
Mm-hmm.
the people that merge on a highway at 30 miles an hour just to make sure that you're slowing down for your safety. I mean, they are
Well,
so
and the
much,
thing is, yeah, and hey, guess who's here? Rich is here.
you know, Rich. Yeah. Rich tried to sneak in here last week without anybody knowing.
Yes. But Rich, you've missed just a wonderful show of what we do. And the thing is, I'll finish with one final thing that we can do together. Isn't it amazing that in today's world, when you're at a restaurant, a fast food place, a garage, a hair cutting place, that the employee or a buffet, that an employee is so good to you that they will give you a reminder of how much you should tip.
That's super helpful.
I really I appreciate that because math is hard, and to be able to tip exactly what they want.
So can I help Rich out here a little bit?
Yeah,
So Rich is on a
well,
trip.
wait a minute. Let me read this. I can't figure out
How to turn off the Tesla.
Oh, how? Okay. I was going to say I thought he was having some fun.
Because he's on a trip and he's
Yes.
always wanted to experience a Tesla. So he rented a Tesla. This is a rental
Cool.
car. Rich, what you do is you put it into park and you get out and you walk away. That is it. There's no off. There's no on.
Really?
It'll lock itself. Yep.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
See,
And
another thing to be happy about.
yeah.
Another
And
thing.
it's funny because I gotten so used to that when I first had it and drove it exclusively and then drove my wife's car, at least one time, maybe twice, I got out and walked away with that engine just a running because you don't have to turn anything off in a Tesla.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Hope you're having a good time, Rich.
Yes, it looked like you finally got there, which is a good thing, and hopefully you'll have a wonderful time where you're vacationing. Well, we hope that everybody enjoyed this show. This was another fun one, and I think we're going to do more stuff like this. But as always, we need your help.
This caused a little heartache. Trying.
Oh yeah, okay. And now, wait a minute. There, we're back to normal. Yeah, we both Dave and I tried to find things that we really, 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 really don't like, but to turn a pause. And I don't know about you, Dave, but I feel so much better. I feel lighter.
I need
lighter.
a drink, Dave.
Yeah, well, I did. Yeah, that too. So, I guess that's it for today. Don't you think, Dave?
I think so. Rich, I'll just throw this out here. You got my phone number, so if you need any other information about what you're driving around.
And Rich, if you need to know how to shut your Corvette off, just call me. But it's in Ohio, so I guess that wouldn't do much good. Next
buddy.
week's show, 6 p.m. We have no idea what we're going to be talking about next week. But if you have any ideas, write down there at the ticker, drinksanddaves@gmail.com, to join a future stream and to let us know what
we should talk about.
Yeah, what we should talk about, and tell your friends. We're slowly but surely building up, and we appreciate your likes, your subscribes, your comments, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. So anyhow, on behalf of Dave and myself, say goodnight, Dave.
Night, Dave.
You guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks, everybody.